What's up, everybody? Fred Richani on TSC here to review Vampyr, developed by Dontnod Entertainment, famous for the Life is Strange series, and published by Focus Home Interactive. Full disclosure, we were provided a free copy of this game for this review by the publisher. Vampyr is available on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. We happen to review Vampyr on PS4. Vampyr is a third-person action role-playing game that takes place in 1918 London during the Spanish flu epidemic, lived and played through the eyes of main character Dr. Jonathan Reid, well known for his blood transfusion methods. Oh, by the way, he's also a human who somehow became a vampire, who came back to life and requires living human blood in order to survive. The game is dark in content and in setting, and the impressive art style certainly sets the tone. In Vampyr, you have various goals much like any role-playing game. Solve crimes, conspiracy theories, and of course, resolve the Spanish flu epidemic as much as you can with your own power, all while maintaining a balance of how much chaos you must unleash as a freaking vampire. You gain experience points by completing missions and acquiring key hints throughout the game with its massive amount of dialogue. This isn't one of those games where you waste your time talking to useless characters. Every single one of them serves a purpose, no matter how big or small, in progressing the story. As you gain hints from each conversation, you can chat again with the characters and bring up subjects to get to the bottom of a particular mystery.
Did you know of your son's plans to join the Wet Boot Boys gang?
Barely survived the war, just to come back and see my wife die of the flu, and my son turn into a petty thug.
Albert is old enough to make his own mistakes, don't you think? To forbid him will only encourage him to join them.
Yeah, my Albert's as tough and stubborn as his old man. Apple didn't fall far from the tree.
As you can hear, that's just a sample of an array of damn good voice acting throughout Vampyr, coupled with a unique and engaging narrative. One major skill you can increase over time in regards to dialogue is Mesmerize, which allows you to get into people's houses unsolicited and feast on their blood. But be careful who you mesmerize and kill, though. The more you kill, the more the area you're inhabiting sinks to a more dire situation, leading to all hell breaking loose. Well, more hell than what's already loose.
I'm not afraid anymore. I died in this trench a long time ago.
You should also be weary of whose blood you consume and what condition the character is in. As you kill enemies and explore London, you acquire various materials to craft cures for fatigue, the common cold, anemia, among other ailments. I'm not saying you should bite the neck of everyone, but if you're going to, and they happen to be sick, make sure they're nice and healthy before you bite them in the neck.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Shillings aren't the only currency, at least not to vampires. Blood rules above all else, and the healthier and more prominent a character is, the more their blood will be valuable to you and your growth. Creepy, right? But it comes at the expense of the city's physical and mental state. Depending on who you kill and how much blood you consume, combat can get easier, or it can be much more challenging should you choose to protect as many characters as humanly and vampirely possible. The combat in the game has been described as similar to Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Full disclosure, guys, I haven't really played those games, so I'd best describe it as an early Assassin's Creed title with more strategy, particularly when it comes to stamina. Much like most Assassin's Creed games, the combat system does get a little repetitive once you get the hang of it. Left-right buttons are used for specials and ultimates, triangle is to stun, square for your main weapon, circle to duck and dodge and teleport, and the directional pad to switch out weapons and take an antidote. Although unlike Assassin's Creed, you can't just button mash your way through everything. Maintaining your stamina is key. unless you want to leave yourself prone to enemies' attacks. Sometimes, all it takes is one hit to kill your momentum and yourself. You definitely want to be mindful of stamina, especially during boss battles. So yes, you will have to require some patience. Trust me, you'll need even more patience if you die, because the reload times are no joke. And here's where Vampyr becomes extremely polarizing amongst gamers I've spoken to. For all the good things I can say about this game, the narrative structure, the art style, the voice acting, the variety of skills to level up, there are just as many complaints I can make about this game from a technical standpoint. Long load times. If you die, Vampyr gives you around 2 minutes to load back to the checkpoint. In today's gaming age, that's 2 minutes too freaking long. Now, it's not just Cause 3 on PS4 bad, which back in 2015 had me wait literally 20 minutes after a death. Seriously, Google it. But it's not great either. Depending on certain doors you open, or people you talk to, or even at random parts of combat, you will experience at least 1 to 2 minutes of what seems to be an obnoxiously unnecessary loading time for a AAA game. But the issues don't stop there. At times when sprinting, I had the frame rate drop below 30, and early on when speaking to characters, the initial camera angles were just bizarre, and at times obstructed the character's frickin' face. I also had issues early on with the directional pad not responding when attempting to switch weapons or use an antidote during combat. Not cool, guys. Beyond the technical issues, I found 2 features lacking, and this in no way is a complaint exclusive to Vampyr, but I think it's worth mentioning. There's no quick save option in the game, although there are enough autosave opportunities, mainly when you go to sleep at a hideout in order to level up. The other is a lack of fast travel. I get that one of the keys to Vampyr is exploration and facing the unexpected. But last time I checked, many current generation RPGs had quick save and fast travel options, and those didn't seem to hurt the gameplay experience whatsoever, or the game sales. And I'm all about giving gamers the options to enhance their experience. To sum up my issues with, well, Vampyr's issues, the game plays very much like a launch title on PS4, as opposed to a game taking full advantage of the Sony console's capabilities 5 years into its existence. But believe it or not, if you can tolerate these issues, and I use the word tolerate loosely, I believe this game could be worth your while. And believe me, I wouldn't say that about a lot of games that load, and load. So what's the verdict? Graphics, I give Vampyr 7.5. I really like the art style, but I gotta dock some points for frame rate issues that are never fun to deal with. Gameplay, I give Vampyr 7.5. These are certainly not the best RPG controls I've ever been given, but they are fun, and once you get the timing down on lock, it's a pretty smooth ride from there, minus the occasional technical issues with the combat. Content, I give Vampyr an 8. Even with all the technical issues I had with this game, with the story taking some time to really hook me, I thoroughly enjoyed playing through the story that just screams different. In a gaming world where everybody tries to do the same thing, Battle Royale, oh hey, this RPG was successful, let's copy it, let's take something from here. Vampyr is different, and for better or worse, they did a hell of a job of making this game stand out in the market. So overall, TSC gives Vampyr on PS4 a 7.6 out of 10. For more information on Vampyr, more game reviews and news updates, subscribe right here to TSC News. You can also visit our official website, thesportscourier.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, take care. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line in the comments section. And until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the game and stay safe on the streets of 1918 London, England.
Here's what's left of it. I have this thirst for blood.